Did you know that if you drop Mentos candy into a fresh bottle of Coke, and time out, from what I understand, Diet Coke is better because of the... I just mostly don't care. I just know Diet Coke is better. Is that fair? Okay. That soda will immediately start to fizz and shoot out of the top of the bottle in a fountain. I'm sorry I said shoot at school, but it says right there in the words. I had to read it. A physics class hypothesized that dropping more Mentos into the bottle would create a higher stream of soda. The class conducted an experiment with several packages of candy and 8 2-liter bottles of soda. What do you notice? They don't have 5 and 7. Okay? Right here it says the group who used 5 Mentos and 7 Mentos accidentally knocked over their Coke bottles when the reaction occurred, so no data is available for these entries. What else do you notice? No, we're not there yet. We're just right here. What do you notice? Every time you add more Mentos, it gets way higher? Oh, it's not a constant pattern. Okay. What did you say, Bella? The pattern. Okay. What do you wonder? Okay, so what 5 and 7 should actually be, right? Okay. Anything? Do you wonder anything else? We could probably guess, right? Is guessing okay? Sometimes yes. Right? If there's a really good way to get the answer, should we guess? No, we should do the good way, right? But sometimes we have to guess, don't we? Okay? Now, make a scatter plot of the data. Do you remember how to do that on your calculator? Oh, just a little reminder, okay? You have to turn your calculator on first. I'm going to go home on my calculator, not to my actual home. I want a new document. That is a correct list and spreadsheet. Do you remember now? Okay. I'm going to walk around the room while you make yours. So work on it. I'll come and help you if you need to. What should we do for 5 and 7? We should guess on 5 and 7? If we want the most accurate thing that we can we include 5 and 7 and then leave the y value blank? It will not. It won't let you do that. No. So if we're going to if we're not going to include everything that we have data for, we cannot include 5 and 7. So do not include 5 and 7 when you make your list and spreadsheet. Okay? Did you label your columns like I just did? Make that X? After you have everything in your lists and spreadsheet, what do? Control page, right? Control doc to add a page. What kind of page am I adding? Data and statistics. What do I do from here? So label my axes, X and Y. Does yours look like mine now? Okay, so before we do that, let me ask this. Did anyone already go put a line in, an equation in, Okay, that's probably a good choice, right, to wait for directions. Good. So you want to go ahead and get the equation for it? All right, so go ahead and do that. You remember how to do that? That's a good question. Guys, I'm going to back out real quick. What shape is that? Oh, a square root curve? How did you know that? Oh yeah, we wrote it on the board, right? Oh, look at this. What characteristics of the graph indicate that a square root curve might create a good model for the data? Huh. All right, which one are you going to choose? Yeah, there's not one, is there? Okay, so we got to escape and get out of that. We can't do it that way. Let's go ahead and answer our question first before we go on. I'm going to make you think about it for just a second. What characteristics of this graph indicate that a square root function might create a good model for the data? So what you're telling me is that because it looks like one? Uh-huh. I don't like that at all. What's wrong with this? It's not a sentence. What makes it a sentence? A period? Capital letter. We're writing sentences, and if we're going to write sentences, we're going to write them correctly. Okay? Is this the best sentence I could have written? No, not at all. This is a bad one, right? It answers the question, but it's like what? Second grade? Right? We could have written a way better answer that would have answered the question in a way that I would understand, you would understand in 7 weeks when you look back at this, what it actually meant, right? So what would have been better for us to write? We chose a square root function because it looks like one. We chose this function because it looks like a square root function. Any of those would be better, right? So the rest of this worksheet, we need to be better. Yeah, we need to do better. Okay? I'm not going to make us change it because you didn't know what I wanted. All right? But we need to do better. All right? So here's what I'm issuing you right now as a challenge. Within your table groups, I know what it says on the answer key for this. I want to see who can get the closest. So here's what we're going to do. On our graph, we're going to say menu, analyze, plot function. Do you see number 4? Plot function. When you say plot function, a place for you to enter an equation shows up. If I enter the square root of x, oh man, it must be broken. No, that's what you always assume, right, when it doesn't happen. Okay, what's actually happening here? Think about this for me for a second, please. If you have 0 mentos, how high is your stream going to go? 0 feet. So is it going through the origin? Yes, 0, 0, right? 0, 0 is an appropriate point on in this function, right? So I know it has to go through the origin, so I know I can't shift this function up or down or left or right, because that would take it away from going through the origin. So thinking about our transformation rules, what do I have to do to make it stretch up? What makes a function stretch vertically? Multiplier, right? A multiplier does. So I'm going to go here, I'm going to double click on this so that I get a cursor. Maybe 3. Ooh, I can see it now. But it's not right. It's not high enough, right? So within your table groups, quietly, I want you to see if you can get the most accurate answer. I know what the quote-unquote answer key says. I want to see who can get the closest. Mark, set, go. Try to figure it out. Work as a group. Don't work by yourself. Work as a group and see if you can figure it out. I'm going to walk around in just a second and just check with everybody, because I don't want you to say it out loud for sure. To a consensus with your group. Come to a consensus as to what your equation should be. Does everybody have a consensus? You know what that means, right? An agreement? You all agree on what you're going to use? Look down here at problem number 1. The rule for h of x can be written in the form h of x equals a square root of x, where a is a constant. That's the number you were trying to figure out, right? Determine a value for A that fits this data. I want you to write your rule down right here. I want in writing before I tell you what the quote-unquote answer key says. Does everybody have something written down? All the groups. Yes or no? This group, do you have something written down? You guys? You guys, do you have something written down? Not yet? Do you guys have something written down? Middle group? Yes? Written down? You guys have something written down? All right, you guys? Okay. Don't change yours. Don't change it. Don't change it. Whatever you guys came up with is what I want you to use, even though I'm going to use this. Okay? Now, did you notice how I said what I said about the answer key a minute ago? What did I say? The quote-unquote answer. What do you think I meant by that? Guys, how did we get our answer? It says, tell how you found it. How did we get our answer? We guessed, didn't we? So who's to tell me that my guess is wrong when I'm trying to guess as close as I possibly can? Some of you got 7.9. Some of you guys got 7.9. What did you guys get? 8? Wait, are 7.9 and 8 close? Yeah. Especially in a situation like this, right? Think about what was happening in the actual experiment. They're dropping the mentos in and measuring how high something goes. And they had measurements like 6 feet and 11 feet. Not 6.5, not 6.2702, but 6. They just even went to the closest foot, right? So do you think at this point in this particular experiment, 8 and 7.9 are going to make that much of a difference? No, they're not. Are there experiments between 8 and 7.9 that would make a huge difference? Yes, this is not one of them. Do you understand that? Okay, we have decided that in this particular experiment, we're going to get close. And that's okay because of how the data was recorded in the first place. There is times then we can't get close. We have to get way, 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 way closer. Right? Are you okay with that? Do you think you could by yourself figure out when was an appropriate time and when wasn't to keep 7.9 and 8 as okay? Yes? I hope so. Okay, what did you guys get? 8? What did you guys get? 7.8? 7.9. So that's all pretty close, right? We're good. We okay with that? Now, I'm going to do all the answers up here on the board with 7.9, but you as a group, if you didn't get 7.9, I want you to use what you got because I want to respect your guess. Is that fair? All right, let's finish answering this question, though. Tell how you found it. If we're being better, what are we going to write as our answer? We used the calculator and what? Guessed numbers? Estimated numbers? For A. Probably should put like this for A. Did we do better writing a sentence here than we did up there? Yeah, we thought about it, right? Good. Ready to go to the back? Okay. Yes, there's the back. With your value for A, use your function to estimate the height of the spray for x equals 5 and x equals 7 Mentos. Guys, if we're going to get picky about how we write our English sentences, do you think we're going to get picky about how we write our math answers? Yeah. If we're finding x equals 5, what are we actually finding? Yeah, h of 5, right? H of 5. Now my equation was 7.9 root x. So I'm going to put 7.9 root 5. Now, sometimes it says very clearly how many decimal places that we're rounding to. Sometimes it does not. So we have to decide what's appropriate based on the problem situation. What do you think is appropriate based on this problem situation? How many decimal places should we round to based on this problem situation? So tell me in the right math language, please. To the 10th, right? The 10th would probably be okay. To the 100th if you want, right? But 10th would probably be okay in this situation because of how non-specific they already were over here, right? Okay, so h of 5 then for my problem is 17.66. What is it for y'all's problem? Okay, so I need you to understand if this is the answer you write on the test, I'm marking it wrong. Okay, so you want it to be 17.7 because we just want to do tenths. I'm okay with that. It's still wrong. Yes, you do. Absolutely you do. It's asking specifically, estimate the height. 17.7 is not a height. 17.7 feet is a height. Got it? What else do we need to find in this question? H of 7, right? So h of 7 would be, in my case, 7.9 root 7. .9 feet. What'd you guys get? Okay. Okay, all still close though, aren't they? All right, good. With your function rule, estimate how high the soda would shoot out of the bottle if you use 10 Mentos. Guys, why didn't they just answer